These 5 people are worth nearly $500 million, and they're ready to invest their own money into the best business ideas they hear. But can anyone convince them to part with their cash?
I wonder whether you're just coming in here to try and have us on.
Sorry, you're talking nonsense.
I don't believe you.
Sorry, it's bullshit, I'm out.
Here in Dragon's Den, cash-hungry New Zealand entrepreneurs have come armed with the business ideas they hope will make them rich. They'll pitch these ideas to 5 of New Zealand's top business people who could put up their own money to get the businesses going. So who are our 5 investors, the dragons in the den?
Our first dragon, Sir Bob Jones, built his empire by first investing in commercial property. His wealth now stands at more than $200 million, making him one of the country's leading entrepreneurs. Julie Christie made her $25 million in the media industry. She sold her multi-million-dollar entertainment company earlier this year and has other investments ranging from hospitality to a South Pacific resort. Paul Webb started the cut-price airline CityJet. However, he hit the headlines when the company collapsed in 1999, but has since rebuilt his personal fortune to more than $20 million through investments in companies ranging from media to commercial fishing. Aucklander Annette Presley is worth more than $35 million. She started off investing in recruitment before buying and transforming Australian telecom businesses, and she's now the face and owner of internet firm Slingshot. Barry Colman started off his $130 million fortune in the publishing industry as founder of Liberty Press. He also has many high-end investments, ranging from retail through to aircraft manufacturing.
First up tonight, it's probably been a while since our dragons did any serious manual labour. Nigel King thinks he has the answer to a problem faced by thousands of workers. He wants $300,000 for 40% of his company to prove it. And remember, Nigel must get at least that, or he walks away with nothing.
Hi, my name is Nigel King. This is my colleague Brendan Poole. And we're here today to talk about a product, Neck Protect. Neck Protect is an abbreviation of neck protection technology. And we have got our model here today, Craig. Craig used to be a commercial painter, so he used one of the earlier prototypes when he was working on various contracts. Neck Protect is designed to protect workers from neck pain, strain and injury associated with spending long periods of time looking above the horizontal. Literally millions of people suffer from neck pain on a worldwide basis, so this is a multi-million-dollar opportunity. The New Zealand Chiropractic Association has stated that wearing a neck protect helps prevent the wear and tear that can lead to spinal degeneration. And the New Zealand government has backed the idea to date with nearly $70,000 worth of funding.
So this is the Neck Protect unit. As you can see here, it's a harness system which is fully adjustable to take into account obviously varying different body types from tall, short, thin to larger people. This is adjustable. Once again, obviously different people have different length of neck or different requirements. And then the other key component is we have the removable head support. So then once again we've got an ongoing revenue stream once the initial product is sold.
Now, we're looking for $300,000. In return, we're offering 40% of our business.
If Nigel and Brendan are to be believed, investors in the Neck Protect might need one themselves once the profit charts start climbing skyward. But has their pitch come through loud and clear?
How comfortable is this thing? It looks horrible.
No, it's like lying back on a sofa. It's extremely comfortable.
You're from the north, are you?
That's right.
What, Carlisle or somewhere like that?
Leeds.
Leeds?
Yeah.
I could hear you, but I couldn't understand a word you were saying. So throughout your presentation, I'm staring at this pole affair, and I assume that's what you're selling. I've now deduced from, is it Brendan?
Yes.
That you're selling a neck brace. What are the uses you see for this again?
Probably the first and most obvious one is, say you were attempting to roll out and paint this whole ceiling.
Yes.
Painters have to obviously keep their neck up at above the horizontal, which puts a huge amount of strain and force in between the C2 and C3 vertebrae. Through the trials, we've uncovered quite a number of different people in the industry that have had seriously degenerated necks.
Can your model bring his head right back, or does it restrain him from doing it?
No, that's the point of it, is that it comes back and he rests his head on the...
Oh, I see, and then he has to lean back from the waist.
If we had the time, we could do the little test where it's by you stand there and see how long you can hold your head up like that without it, and you'll pretty much find that about the 2 or 3 minute mark, you'll find that you're getting a lot of strain.
Okay, and other uses?
Fruit pickers is another, obviously, key example for New Zealand.
And plasterers, electricians, joiners.
You're an Englishman, you don't speak English.
Nigel's northern accent means his pitch is literally falling on deaf ears, in Bob Jones's case at least. Nevertheless, Bob's keen to hear more about the company's current state of affairs.
So you're out there selling now, producing and selling now, are you?
No. There was an initial run of the initial prototypes, but they're very expensive to build them one-off.
Yes.
And so we did initial sales, but what we're asking for is the money to be able to take this product from something that is high cost through to doing the tooling and moulding to make it into basically a very low cost.
And is that 300,000 calculated as precisely what you need as a round sum for that requirement, is it? It's not just arbitrary?
No, it's not just arbitrary.
You've worked it out?
Of course.
It sounds like a damn good idea. I certainly would be interested. But with that qualification, you'd have to take a punt on me that if I say I'm in, I'm in subject to further exploration.
Of course, I expect there's a due diligence period.
I mean, it sounds good. Now I know it's not a broomstick you're selling.
Bob Jones is in, having overcome the apparent language barrier. Do any of the other 4 dragons see the neck protect as an investment worth $300,000?
Is there a patent or a patent pending?
Yeah, we've got patents for Australia, New Zealand.
You have the patents, or the patents are pending?
We have the patents. The only one that's pending is the US.
Tell me, how long have you been working on this idea?
Since it's when it was invented. It was invented around 5 years ago.
So in 5 years, you've made some high-cost product and distributed very little. And how strong do you believe your patent protection is? You think it's very robust?
It is robust, yeah.
I think that there probably is a good market for it, assuming painters will go through the process of strapping themselves in every day. But I wouldn't do it unless I had 51%.
You'd want 51%.
Yeah.
It's not really kind of normal in passive investment.
Well, that's where we're probably a little different to most of the others here, is that our business is investing in lots of things, and we've got an infrastructure around that has resources that we apply to our investments.
Oh, you do?
We're involved in a lot of different things across the board. So we would apply that infrastructure to your product to assist to get it made and marketed.
Mm-hmm. That's great.
So I guess you'll have to see how you go with everyone else, but if you're interested, I'd take 51% for your 300,000.
Paul Webb's use of the royal we is a reference to the investment company he co-owns. He wants in on the neck protect, but only if he can buy a 51% controlling stake. Do any more dragons also want a piece of the action?
I can't get excited about a neck brace, and I don't want a passive investment either, and you've mentioned that about 3 times, so looks like a great product. Good luck, but I'm out.
Okay.
Well, I'm sorry, I think it's great, but I just can't get passionate about it. I think you're doing God's work and you're going to save thousands of necks, and that's great stuff, but for my part, I'd be out.
I'm the same. I can absolutely see very good product, but I'm going to leave it to Bob and Paul. And good product though, but I'm out.
It's down to Paul Webb and Bob Jones, two dragons who've been somewhat at odds throughout the series. Which one will emerge from this deal the victor?
One small worry, of course, is your market, and I don't say it disrespectfully, low-income people.
We're very confident that we have the business model and have the expertise to be able to take this to market.
Positive charged people drink positively charged water.
If you came into my office and did a presentation to me like that, I'm afraid I'd ask you to leave.
Nigel King and Brendan Poole have come to the Dragon's Den seeking $300,000 investment dollars for their neck-saving brace for workers. 3 dragons are out, and the 2 that remain, Paul Webb and Bob Jones, both have firm offers on the table.
I am aware of what a huge issue both the spinal and the muscular thing is. One small worry, of course, is your market, and I don't say it disrespectfully, low-income people. Have you thought about that? I mean, the casual labour in orchards, all that sort of thing.
The people that were the most interested about it were the people that were the leaders of the teams or the owners of the business. Because one of the first things they said to us, or that they came back to us on, was, well, hang on, this can save me money. Because the reality is that they have their guys will be painting ceilings, and then they're always off trying to play with their phones or whatever, or go to the toilet because they're getting the sore neck. And he's saying, well, hang on, this can actually make my business more efficient.
Anyway, as I say to you, I don't haggle. If your 300 grand for 40%, I think it was, stacks up, then, and subject to the obvious things that we must inquire about, yep, I'd be happy to be on that.
Fantastic.
As to contribution, we certainly wouldn't be doing any day-to-day. We'd provide a bit of brain power, though. And I'm not talking about myself.
Nigel and Brendan are now assured of getting the $300,000 they came for, but they must choose between Bob Jones's passive 40% investment or Paul Webb's insistence that he take 51% to ensure the Neck Protect goes to market.
Yeah, well, thank you very much for the 2 offers. Paul, obviously, you've been very successful in your own business, and the idea that you'd like people that you had people there to be able to work on it and help make success is very attractive. But obviously, the fact that you're wanting to take full control of the business, we're very confident that we have the business model and have the expertise to be able to take this to market. So we would definitely prefer to go with Bob's offer, and obviously we have a lot of respect that Bob's got a huge amount of business experience, so we'd like to take up your offer if that still stands.
Despite his apparent difficulty understanding Nigel at the start, Bob Jones seals the deal, and the Kiwi-made Neck Protect moves a step closer to saving the necks of millions.
I think that was a great product, and I think there'll be a good market.
It's a good product, yeah.
Very good product.
I think it is.
Very, very serious need for it. Huge problems out there. Oh, yeah, there are huge problems. Any medical man or nurse or anyone watching this show and watching that will relate to that.
Brendan, Nigel, many congratulations. That's 300 grand you guys have just made. How does it feel?
Feels fantastic.
What was it like in there?
To tell you the truth, I actually felt fairly relaxed in there. It was actually quite a good environment.
Were you prepared for getting not just 1 but 2 offers for the full amount?
Absolutely not. No, that was fantastic.
So you had Bob, the passive investor, Paul, the hands-on investor. What was going through your minds when you were discussing the decision you had to make?
Well, basically, yeah, we felt that with our business experience and, we've been pretty thorough in putting this whole thing together, we felt that, as we said in there, that we can actually run this ourselves, and therefore all we were really looking for was a passive investor. So we didn't feel the need to give away that extra percentage in the business.
You're very cool, guys, but you've just made 300 grand. I mean,
we're absolutely
stoked.
Yeah, we are.
Absolutely stoked.
Yeah. A good day's work, eh?
Oh, no doubt about it, mate. It was awesome.
In order to leave the den with the Dragons' money, first you have to convince them you've got a product that'll sell. Lisa Schwanecker thinks she's hit upon a winner with her Bootylicious range and needs $50,000 in exchange for 10% of her company.
Buongiorno, Dragons. My name is Lisa Schwanecker, and I'm here from the Wairarapa to introduce you to a very beautiful product that evokes the spirit of Italy, I'd like to think, which is what this little tableau is about. It's very hard in an industrial sort of setting like this to evoke the spirit of Italy, but if you could just cast your mind for a moment to the beautiful rolling hills of Tuscany, to a nice aperitif at a paveside cafe, villas, rolling hills with sunflowers, fabulous food, fashion. The names that spring to mind, obviously, are Versace, Armani, Dolce & Gabbana, just to mention a few. But I don't think that many people think about gumboots when they think of Italy. It's not the first thing that springs to mind. And today, my daughter and I, Janina, are going to introduce you to Bootylicious gumboots. And Janina's going to step out and show you a lovely pair, just fresh sunflower gumboots. She's modeling a new pattern, fresh for spring. These are Italian gumboots. They're very soft and pliable because they're made of 100% PVC. On a sunny day, you might wear them out in the garden, but if you wanted to go to town and it was raining, you would step out in a leopard and wild panther sun boots. As you can see, I'm trying to illustrate that the boots are extremely versatile. They can be used in the garden, they can be used going to town. The thing about Bootylicious gumboots in particular is that they are romantic. You might step out in rose pattern if you were going to a wedding on a farm and you wanted to look pretty. So, there we have it, Bootylicious gumboots.
So what do you want, Lisa? How much do you want for what?
I was hoping to get $50,000 for 10%.
Lisa Schwanecker would like to put a pair of her Bootylicious gumboots in every fashion-conscious Kiwi woman's wardrobe. But she needs a cash injection from the Dragons, $50,000 for 10% of her company.
You talk about going to weddings in gumboots. I don't think that in the entire human history anyone's attended a wedding or horse races in gumboots or gone to town in gumboots.
They are a fashion accessory. They're very popular.
You wear
Great
them?
idea.
I've got some, so...
You've got some?
Yeah, I've got some.
Oh, thank you.
Bob won't be surprised by
Do you
that.
find them comfortable?
Well, they only cost me $30 and they're pink with flowers.
No, they're great. Great idea. And the more outrageous they are, the better.
Well, they're from Italy.
Lisa's brought some colour into the harsh surrounds of the Dragon's Den, and while her gumboots are Italian-made, are the Dragons convinced they ooze Italian style?
What I'm concerned about is how baggy they are.
My cutting-edge innovation is Wheel Woman magazine.
You've got to be kidding me.
Lisa Schwanecker's come to the Dragon's Den seeking a $50,000 investment in her Bootylicious Italian gumboots. In exchange, she's offering 10% of her company. But do any of the Dragons think her business proposal stands up?
How much do you buy them for?
I probably, with all my costs, including advertising, are probably close to $40 if I were to take everything into account.
So you buy these from Italy?
Yes, yeah.
And give us a general price range.
I charge $70 for them.
You must know there's a lot of competitive product on the market at the
There
moment.
certainly are, and I knew you'd bring that up. There's another range from Scotland that is $170.
It's possible you could build yourself a small business. I don't see it as an investment, so I'm out, I'm afraid.
Yeah, well, Lisa, my name's Paul. I hope you do well, but it's certainly not a business that I could be passionate about, so I'm out.
It wouldn't excite me. It's just too small, and I'm afraid I'd be out.
It's come down to the two female dragons. Julie Christie has 22 pairs of cowboy boots in her wardrobe. Does she really want gum boots in her investment portfolio?
What do you want the money for?
To have a website to buy a whole new range, about 8 different patterns, and to...
Are you primarily going to sell them on a website?
Yes, I will. And I do go to markets as well.
Lisa, I'll have 2 pairs of those and 2 of those ones over there. And good on you, mate. I'm not sure about the Italy as a point of difference for romanticism, but whenever I go to the soccer, just like Julie, most of the women have them on. They don't look as classy or as beautiful as that, so you might have a great opportunity, and I'll be a customer, but yeah, I don't see potential for me as an investor, so I'm out and good luck.
Only Julie Christie remains. Is she prepared to muck in and invest $50,000 in a business selling designer gumboots?
What I'm concerned about is how baggy they are. I'm struggling a little bit with how anyone in the world could ever find gumboots romantic, because they seem to be the least romantic thing in the world. I mean, I think they're a good quality product, but I don't think there's ever going to be enough money in it for me, so I'm out.
Thank you very much.
Lisa may have won some more customers, but her business just isn't appealing enough, and she leaves the den without any investment.
I do like them, but you know what?
Too expensive.
They don't ooze Italy.
They're not Italy, but they're...
Did you see how they're all bagged round her ankles?
Yeah, that's why I asked.
They will be bagging round your ankles. They completely...
This doesn't bag when I put it on, did
Yeah,
you
but you see hers? They collapsed around her
Probably
ankles.
because it was 4 sizes too small.
Like a pair of baggy pantyhose.
Lisa, hard luck. Are you disappointed?
No, not really. I'm really grateful to the Dragons for giving me the opportunity to go before them. It's good to challenge yourself in a business, and it's no use dabbling away on your own and wondering, do people like them? I know people love Bootylicious gumboots, but the Dragons are significant business people, and their input is always valuable.
Did you feel as though maybe they thought that the market was just too small, it was just too niche, there weren't enough bucks in it for them?
I understand if they thought that. I probably didn't put across the fact that I've had interest from Canada, from Australia, and from the States. And I haven't been advertising for a year, and I have had a call every single day, usually leading to a sale.
So you're going to leave here with a positive attitude, you're going to keep going with this?
Onwards and upwards. La Dolce Vita, I might as well. Why not?
Fair enough. Best of luck, Lisa.
Thank you.
It isn't called Dragon's Den for nothing. Anyone who steps inside with weak ideas or poor presentations can expect to be savaged.
I wonder whether you're just coming in here to try and have us on.
I'm sorry, you're talking nonsense.
You've got to be kidding me.
I don't believe you.
Simon Russell wanted $150,000 to sell bottled water that's had an electric current run through it.
It's going to be advertised because the positive charged people drink positively charged water.
However, the feedback from the Dragons was less than positive.
I feel insulted, I really do. If you came into my office and did a presentation to me like that, I'm afraid I'd ask you to leave.
You can't judge a book by its cover.
Gives you a fair indication.
You've got 8 seconds to make an impression. You've come to ask us for $150,000 with your hands in your pockets, your shirt hanging out. Sorry, it's bullshit, I'm out.
You're right, absolutely right, Annette. I'm going to give you a big tick for that first.
Simon, my name's Paul. Do you bottle water now? Have you got a business?
No.
You've got nothing?
No.
You've got a diary there with obviously your appointment for today, and you forgot to dress up. I'm out.
Better dressed, but not much better received, was Nick Lee Frampton, who wanted $80,000 to launch a new magazine.
My cutting-edge innovation is Wheel Woman magazine, which...
Sorry? What, I missed that?
Wheel Woman.
Wheel. I thought you said queer woman.
No, Wheel. It is a magazine for women how women interact with cars.
Well, how do they interact with cars?
You and I...
Apart from driving badly, how do they interact with cars?
Which wasn't the only question Nick had difficulty answering.
What sort of articles? Tell us, I mean, you've got to produce dozens in each issue. Are you going to have pitched towards women?
There will be articles on reason why people choose a particular car. There will be articles on women who have been successful in racing cars or racing bikes. There will be articles on all the different ways in which women interact with cars. And it's not about the car, it is about how the people, women...
interact with cars.
Yeah.
In the end, Nick was sent packing with this parting advice from Annette Presley.
Nick, don't do it. Don't put any money into this, OK? Just don't do it. Don't go there.
The message to all those who seek out the Dragon's Den: come prepared or don't come at all.
I've got a pit bowl here and a won't spill.
So a little bit of water gets sprayed around. Well, that's not the end of the earth.
That's a good idea. You know that and I know that.
I think it's fantastic.
That there is worth an estimate of $30 million.
The Dragons know that some of the best ideas come from people solving their own problems. Stanley Walters from Otago is one such person. But is it a money-generating solution? Stanley's looking for $125,000 in exchange for 20% of his company.
Afternoon, my name's Stan Walters. I've got a pet bowl here that is unique in its own way and it won't spill. I'll show you how it works. It's probably the best way. But that's not full, but there's water in there. You can put it on the floor, if you've got it on the kitchen floor, and you kick it, that won't spill.
Can we have a look?
You can drop it.
Oh.
Won't spill.
Well, I've got no idea what he's talking about, but so there's water.
There's water underneath there, and as your dog laps it up.
Yes. And he knocks the thing over.
Can't.
It'll always start
Why can't he?
level.
Because it doesn't knock over, it's unspillable.
Oh, you mean because of the weight of water underneath?
Yeah, it's unspillable.
Fantastic. I love it.
Good for in your car.
You're okay for vodka too.
Stan Walters has invented a solution to one of life's minor irritations, a water bowl for pets that won't spill. He wants $125,000 in return for a 20% stake and has come all the way from the South Island to get it.
Where do you live?
Dunedin.
Oh, good boy.
I used all my money for that to come up here. But the dog I made it for, I put him down 3 weeks ago. So he lived long enough to use it for about 3 weeks.
If I got this right, this is a water bowl for cats, say?
For cats, dogs, is actually...
So if it's a dog, he's probably going to be outside, so who gives a damn if he spills
Well, you
it
could
around?
use it outside, you could use it anywhere.
Does it matter if he spills it outside? I'm a cat lover. I've never known a cat to knock things over, aside from which we have a plastic thing at home that dips down, it's flat.
But cats are messy drinkers.
Cats are what?
Messy drinkers.
I wasn't aware of that, but if that's true. So a little bit of water gets sprayed around, well, that's not the end of the earth.
Stan, tell us, tell us your marketing plan. You're going to make this invention how in China, here? What happens?
China.
How much per unit?
I think I can make them for under $5 each.
Under $5.
Yeah, that's packaged, ready to go.
How much would it retail for?
Talking to pet shops, they seem to think $20 would be a good price. It could be more. It's the only thing like it in the world, and there's nothing to compete with it.
How much have you spent on it, Stan?
I'd be embarrassed to tell you.
More than 1,000?
Probably about $30, but a lot of time.
Good on you.
A lot of time.
Stan's come to the Dragon's Den armed with nothing but his non-spill water bowl. No sales or profit forecasts, just Kiwi ingenuity and a healthy dose of southern pride.
I mean, I've always had cats, for example, and sadly, from time to time, the unfortunate experience of dogs, and I've never known a problem with water, spillage, this sort of thing. I mean, and even if it happens, so what? I'm not in Stan because I think you're solving a non-existent problem.
Why don't you just sell the whole idea, 100% for a certain amount of money?
How much? It would have to be a good price. That there is worth an estimate of $30 million.
How'd you get the $30 million value on the bowl?
There's over 100 million pet owners in America, New Zealand, UK and Australia with cats, dogs or whatever. You take 5% of the market alone and you've got 30 million.
I'd be in for that, Stan, if you give me 26%.
The maximum I would go, but I still want more money, would be 25%. It's a good idea, you know that and I know that.
Bob Jones is out, but Barry Colman's keen. However, Stan's driving a hard bargain. Will any other dragons enter the fray, or is Stan pushing his luck too far?
I'm not in because I want more than 26%, so there's no point in talking. So count me out.
Stan, I think you're a very clever man. I just think it's too much money, so I'm out. Thanks.
Just 2 dragons now remain. Barry Colman's offer still stands. Will Annette Presley undercut him and take the 25% Stan's willing to part with?
Stan, I think I've got 2 cats I love dearly, and yeah, I think it's something of which I have absolutely no knowledge of. Don't understand the market, don't understand the potential, but I'm out.
My position is I'm offering the 125 for 26% of the company.
Put him on the line, Stan. There's no difference between 25 and 26.
Yeah.
I don't like investing if the other person's got the power of resolution, which they have at 75%. 26, at least they can still do mainly what they want, but they can't do it automatically.
And you helping me getting it to the market?
Yeah.
You know, it'll be fine.
It's a deal.
Stan finally agrees to sell 26% of his non-spill pet bowl to Barry Colman, and he leaves the den with $125,000 in his back pocket.
That's a good Kiwi bloke.
Yeah.
Oh, he's cool. Bob, you need one of those, mate. You need one of those bowls. You stick one of those in the chauffeur-driven limousine and you'll be right.
Well, Stan, well done. That's fantastic. You got a result, they loved the product, and you've gone home with the money.
Yeah, no, I'm real happy with that. I'm real happy.
But you did quibble over 1% with Barry. Do you think you got a win, though?
Yeah. The 1% really wasn't going to be an issue.
Absolutely. Yeah. When we may well see these bowls across the world before you know it. Well, many congratulations. That's a fantastic result.
We will.
China White Organic Iced Tea will start a revolution.
I just can't stand it. It makes me feel sick.
Auckland sales and marketing manager Jasmine Patt is trying to quench the nation's thirst with her new brand of an age-old beverage. Will the Dragons be convinced and pour $100,000 into her business in return for a 20% share?
Dragons, hello. I'm Jasmine Pat from China White, and I'm here today to tell you why China White is the tea of today. I believe there is a tea culture evolving in New Zealand. China White organic iced tea will start a revolution. My primary market is high-end cafes and delis, also organic food stores. Please go ahead and try one of my China White products.
Has it got tea in it?
It has white tea.
White tea?
So what's white tea?
Well, white tea comes from the plant of Camellia sinensis, and the buds are hand-picked just a few times a year in the Fujian province of China. It contains up to 5 times more antioxidants than green tea and most teas. It has less caffeine, it's not as highly processed as most teas, and it's cleansing, so it can actually help weight loss.
So what's your proposition, Jasmine?
Well, today I'm asking for $100,000 as an investment for 20% share of the company. Yes, that's right.
Jasmine Pat's China White iced tea appears to have hit the spot with the dragons, even cooled some heads perhaps. But is it a product worth $100,000 for 20% of the company?
Competitors? What's your competitors at the moment?
In New Zealand, there isn't anyone.
No one's doing this?
No. I'm the first company in New Zealand
It certainly tastes
to
lovely.
manufacture
Good name for it, it is quenching.
China White.
There's no one else selling tea in bottles?
Iced tea.
In bottles. No, I was at the food show, just very recently, the New Zealand Food Show, and I saw nothing like this.
So you're basing your claim on going to one food show? You're telling us there's something else in the market?
I've done research on websites, like through the internet. I've visited supermarkets, including Asian supermarkets and health food stores.
But Jasmine, you haven't actually started doing this then, is that correct?
Well, this has actually, it's hot off the press. In fact, these just came off the production line just 3 days ago.
OK, so the answer is you haven't yet. So what about, where do you propose to make this? Could you tell us a bit about that? Well, you know, you bring the tea in from where? The tea leaves come from where?
The tea leaves are actually, they originally come from China. I go through a company in New Zealand who bring it in for me. I work with food technologists. It's taken about 8 months to develop this product. I go through a local bottling brewery.
So you've got all that arranged. So you're not going to do it yourself, you're subcontractor.
That's right, yes. Yeah.
Tell us how much you're going to charge for this drink.
Between $4 and $4.50.
Is that expensive?
No, I think it's very competitive.
$4.50 for a bottle of iced tea?
Yes. It's a sophisticated product, and also I feel that for a healthy drink, people normally aren't actually price-driven.
Aren't they? Because it seems quite expensive to me. Can't you get like a juice for a couple of dollars?
These have no added sugar. They're low in carbohydrates compared to other juices on the market, and it's organic, and these are 3 key selling points.
There's definitely iced tea. You can buy iced as an ICED, iced tea, can't you?
I buy it all the time.
You can buy iced
called
tea.
Snapple.
No, there's
the most common thing in America.
Lipton's.
Most
Lipton's
common
have one.
drink in America is iced tea.
Lipton isn't available in New Zealand.
Yes, it is. I buy it from a shop in Victoria Avenue.
What does it cost, Paul?
I think it's about $3.
Jasmine's pitch has come unstuck with the revelation Paul Webb buys iced tea from a Remuera dairy and at a better price. What's more, he has another surprise regarding plans to sell China White in cafes.
You know that most of the fridges are actually owned by the beverage companies, and in order to get your beverages into those fridges, you need to buy fridges?
Mm-hmm.
You know about that?
No.
How would you get around that? That's how they control the distribution, because they own the fridges.
I think it's a good tasting product, but it's not my sort of thing, Jasmine, so I'm out.
And I'd have to agree, it's a great tasting product, and I do buy that Lipton's tea and I love it, and this is fantastic, but I'm out.
I'm sorry, Jasmine, I just don't like the taste of it at all. I'm sure iced tea, I don't know, but sorry, I'm out.
3 dragons are out. Annette Presley and Bob Jones remain. Can Jasmine convince them her iced tea is a winning investment?
Jasmine, did you say you had some orders from cafes?
Yes, I have, and I'm Transcenic for their Transalpine trains have actually ordered this product off me, and also I'm in the Lone Star group.
Yes.
They're one of the top restaurant franchises in New Zealand with 18.
So what value of orders have they given you or indicated to you that they'll be placing with you?
I have a confirmed order with the Lone Star group. I have...
And what are the value? What's the value of those confirmed orders?
About 1,000 units.
A month or a year? Or
they haven't indicated. Normally what happens is they actually trial the product for about 3 months.
I tell you, I hate tea. I really hate tea. In fact, I'm going on a trip to Sri Lanka and my major concern is they're going to make me drink tea. I just can't stand it. It makes me feel sick. But that tastes really yummy. That tastes really yummy. But I'm terrible. I just can't stand it. So I have to be out. Sorry.
Well, my problem, I think it tastes delicious, actually, but I just don't know enough about them to make a commitment. I mean, your figures are great. The product tastes good. You're not aware that you've got competition, you say?
Well, I have actually been in touch with Lipton in Australia, and they advised me that there isn't anyone selling Lipton iced tea in New Zealand. There are Asian supermarkets out there who buy in iced tea, but it's packed with sugar. It's quite budget, low-end packaging.
This is the stuff Paul's eating. Is that why he's drinking? That's why he's fat, is it?
Yeah.
Do you know I've never tasted iced tea in my life?
Beautiful.
I'm prepared to have a look at it. Okay. Because it tastes bloody good, but we subject to the usual provisos. Yep, you could count me in.
Jasmine's not only won Bob Jones over to iced tea, but also secured him as an investor, selling 20% of her China White iced tea company for $100,000.
Imagine it with a bit of vodka in it.
I think it's a beautiful
It's
taste.
beautiful, it's refreshing.
Tell you what, it's only 24 calories. That's impressive. It tastes great.
Jasmine, you've just come away with $100,000 of investment. You've got Bob Jones as a business partner. How are you feeling now?
I'm absolutely thrilled.
And you were almost ready to pack your bottles and leave when suddenly Sir Bob said, oh, OK, I'll give it a go.
That's right. That sort of came out of the blue. I wasn't expecting it at all.
Well, many congratulations, Jasmine. Whether you expected it or not, you got an investor, you got the money, you must go away pretty happy.
Absolutely. Very happy. Thank you.
Well done.
Over the past 8 weeks, it's never been easy trying to convince the Dragons to part with their cash.
What are you thinking, mate? It's a joke, isn't it?
You know what, I think you were taking the mickey out of us.
It looks like an abomination to me, I'm sorry. It must be the ugliest bike I've ever seen in my life.
I find it embarrassing to see such bloody mindlessness being taught to little girls.
You have totally put me off going out with men with moustaches.
I wouldn't employ anyone with a moustache. I wouldn't.
And when the Dragons weren't biting off pitchers' heads, they were often ripping into each other.
Paul, before you were born I was doing this stuff. Please don't preach to me.
Are you in or out, Annette?
I'm getting there, Julie. Keep your pants on.
Annette, could you just shut up?
Sometimes the pitchers bit back.
Don't you want to be in touch with this generation?
You don't listen. I'm appalled by them. Everybody my age is.
Have you had your day in the sun, or do you want to stay out there a little bit longer?
One of these monsters comes lumbering down the footpath, the police will be your worst marketing enemy.
One of these comes past, you say thank you for the profit I made on it.
And sometimes in the den, deals were made and dreams came true.
Should we shake on it?
We've come to the end of this series of Dragon's Den New Zealand. Dozens of budding entrepreneurs have been brave enough to venture into the den, and our Dragons have invested more than $3 million. But for every success, many more have failed, proving that in business, only the tough survive. Goodbye.